Fellas, what's good? We're back with a new video. Not gonna lie, fellas. We are gonna be changed. Like, we're gonna go back to like the old school videos and the new school videos, cause I'm gonna be double upping recording for at least this week and next week, because I am going to, when these are live, I'm gonna be on vacation in Colorado with my girlfriend for 2 weeks. So, I gotta get the vids, loaded up real quick, stockpiled, so I keep you guys a little busy while I'm gone. You know what I mean? Best believe I'm still gonna be lifting and stuff, but I'm on vacay. So, also, fellers, too, I also do got a lot's going on in life. That's all I can say. Between one of my buddies, on the brink of maybe, either way, he may or may not pull through. We're not sure. But, between that, just everything in life right now, it's just crazy. But, hey, I know I'm still getting my lifts in and stuff, guys. It's Wednesday. We're going to be hitting some chest. We're going to be hitting some biceps. Nothing can be better than that. For the most part, though, fellas, I just want to explain, if you guys kind of see me, not too much change, like, it's just because, I recorded 2 videos back to back, but best believe in, when we get really, really back to it, sorry, fellas, for the lens, but when we really get back to it, we're going to be bulking, so, be ready for that. But either way, fellas, I'm going to explain a little bit later, too, what I got going on and stuff after my lift. I don't want to do that right now. I kind of just want to get right to the lift. But, this intro's been a little bit longer than usual. So, I'll catch you guys at the lift. Alrighty, fellas. So, we got coming in here is a 225 bench press. We get here. I accidentally hit the rack. Did it 2 times back to back, actually. That pissed me off, but no matter what, I still got in here and I did 7 solidly with no spotter, because we like that. Either way, no, if you can get a spotter, though, guys, for real, get one. I didn't have a spotter. I just didn't feel the need neither. I can control 225 pretty well. Need be, I just throw it to my waist and just stand up with it. But, here we come in again with another 225. I didn't push no more than 225 just because I was feeling good. I was really trying to just go for reps and just get up under the bar and keep pressing it. You know what I mean? But once again here, we also hit 7 again. This time I also did throw on the wrist wraps as well. And same with this last one here. This is our last go at 225. I came out firing real fast because, if I didn't come in pounding these first few reps out, I knew I wasn't going to catch 7. But, either way, we thug it out, and we still push here to get 7. So we ended up going 777 for 225, which I've actually never done. Usually, recently I've gone 755, or even in the way past, I've gone 753. But, never 777. So, hey, we're making improvements, fellers. Then we come over here. We got our 3 sets with 10 reps with a 10-second hold at the end as well. Here for the flies. Can't go wrong with those. Getting a nice stretch all the way across. And, really just getting deep after this chest, especially after hitting bench press. That's what I was feeling. Then we come over here. We got our bicep pull downs. Oops, sorry, I was pulling my headphones off my head. But we got our bicep pull downs here for 3 sets of 10. This is where we transition because we just did, a few technically back-to-back chest workouts. So throw a bicep in here, give the chest a little rest. Really go after these biceps. With this one too, I was slow and controlling it a little bit more. Then we come over here, we got our straight bar curls, 3 sets of 10. So really, after we're going after our chest hard, we're also going after our biceps hard, because obviously it's chest and biceps today. But usually I kind of go every other, but today, doubled up, and that's how we were going after this set. This workout, at least for the beginning. Then we come over here, we got our incline bench press, 3 sets of 10. Just once again, this one's been a staple for my workout ever since I started working out. So, just getting a nice stretch with a nice incline also hits it at your chest at a different way. It just hits it in a different way. Same with your triceps. You don't really think about that, but whether you're doing bench press or really any pressing motion, a lot of your triceps are coming around with that. I'm gonna come over here. We got 3 sets of 10 with hammer curls. Just changing our positioning and hitting our bicep in a different way. We clearly had a pull motion. Then we had a straight. With the straight bar, we had what I would call an open palm. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause that. An open bicep. And then we come over here, and then with the hammer curls, we're really hitting like the outer of our bicep in a sense. So realistically, we were hitting our bicep crazily. Same with our chest, hitting it at all different angles. Now we got the descend, 3 sets of 10. So we went from flat to incline to now descend. I'm not going to lie, I like the descend. I like to finish out on this especially just because, it's one of those ones where you can put a lot of weight on it and just, mog out.
Alrighty, fellas. Pump check. Let's get it.
Alrighty, fellers. So, that was a wrap on today's lift. Not gonna lie, we went hard at the bench, man. I was actually surprised to bench 7 times, for 3 sets like that. Honestly, I was surprised because earlier on Monday, I only did a 7 once and then did 5-5. So to do, power through and do 7-7-7 all the way through, that was actually impressive to me for a bench. So it felt good doing that. And then also we're looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I am weighing right now 182, so I'm a little bit, over my thresh of maintenance, but it's all right because, like I said, when I get back from, vacay and stuff, I'm really gonna be rolling into a bulk and everything. So, that ain't necessarily a bad thing in my mind, but either way, it's helped me move weight. So that's all that I care about. Also, too, guys, like I said, I want to get into, talking about my situation a little bit, guys? So I'm not going to lie, one of my buddies got into a motorcycle accident. It was pretty bad, to say the least. I've gone to the hospital as of now 3 times to see him. We're still waiting on, it's been a week and a half almost now since it happened. And, with all that being said, we're still waiting on what the doctors got to say for, like, the final, decision on what's going to happen going forward. We really don't know till we get an MRI done, And I'm not going to lie, that's going to happen. It's actually happened today at some point. But, obviously, I don't know, we'll hear back and stuff, But, it's not... high hopes. I hope a brother pulls through, but it's not looking too good. It's not. He's not in the best shape, to say the least, guys. It was very tough going and seeing him. So that's why I said, I was off my stuff. You know what I mean? I'll still get into the gym just trying to keep my mind right. But, you know, there was a lot going on, you know what I mean? On some real shit. And, you know, I don't really like to talk about much on the channel like that. But, you know, I just wanted to share a little bit, you know what I mean? Just to, you know, because I you know, when I'm not on my game, guys, you know, I just, you know, I feel bad in that sense, you know what I mean? It was a bad week, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, on top of it, just the cherry on top was, Thursday I got rear-ended, you know what I mean? The rig got hit, fellers. And, you know, so I had to deal with that as well. And, like, just with everything going on, last week was just atrocious. And it just put a toll on me. So, you know, either way, fellas, you know, sorry, you know, but going forward, you know, I'm just rolling with the punches right now. But, you know, I'm trying to stay on my A game. And going forward, you know, hopefully we on that schedule. Because, you know, like I said, I'm going to Colorado on vacay. You know, hopefully, honestly, I can just get away from everything bad happening. You know what I mean? Eventually, hopefully, good will happen, you know. But, you know, definitely got a lot of things going on right now that got to get figured out and stuff. But either way, fellas, you know, we're still in the gym. We're still hitting everything heavy. Everything's been looking good, and I've been feeling great for the most part. You know, I can't lie. You know, right now, I've been, you know, pushing the bench and deadlift and squat and everything definitely a lot more heavier. You know, I've been definitely getting in my compounds. I know that I haven't been talking about it much, but definitely have not been slacking in the compound lifts. I'm still deadlifting 315 for reps. You know, obviously I've been benching 225 for reps, and I even been squatting 225 for reps. But yesterday I was actually doing, I threw 210s on the side, so that would have been 245 for reps, you know, which I've been picking that up on a little bit, you know what I mean? So everything's been going up on reps since, so that's been good. You know, obviously I haven't really sat down and talked much. You know what I mean? It's been a while since we had a carb talks, guys, so, you know, it is feeling pretty good to bring them back. I'm not gonna lie, you know? That's the one thing. I feel like when I did these, you know, I connected on another level, but at the same time, you know, I like to keep a lot of action in these videos for y'all. But, you know, either way, fellas, you know, going forward, I am on another level, to say the least. You know what I mean? And we're definitely going to be unleashing that beast this winter. Rolling into the bulk, you know, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, that's the one thing, you know, I just got to go through a low in life to have a high in life, and then we're going to lock back in, you know what I mean? That's really hoping, you know, all goes to plan, you know what I mean? Because right now, minutes to me feel like hours, and hours feel like days. Like, you know what I mean? Time right now to me is crucial. That's all I can say, fellas. But you know, I will say, you know, I hate to end the video short, but you know, I ain't really got much to say. It's kind of, I unleashed it all at the gym, to say the least. You know, I went very hard today, and all it's going to pay off hopefully one day. But either way, fellas, you know, if you made this far, please leave a like, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. We just hit 500 subscribers. You know, that's a milestone, honestly. When I first started making these videos and stuff, you know what I mean, I really wasn't getting much, you know. I thought 100 was cool, you know what I mean? But, hey, we made it to 500 somehow, and I appreciate every one of you guys for that. You know, I really couldn't do it without you guys, and, you know, obviously, you know, you guys are like a backbone to me, because I'm willing to talk about things, you know what I mean, I really want to talk about, and everything about that, so I do appreciate that. And, you know, with all said, you know, it's alright. With all being said, you know what I mean, as always, stay hustling, stay grinding, stay focused. Peace out. See you guys on the next one.